All right, this tutorial is going to go over the object portrait assignment. So on every daily slide, I still have the Citrix link to get into Citrix, to get into Photoshop. So I will go through that process now. I click on the link. It'll take me to the login page. Your login is the first part of your @MediPride email. Without the @MediPride, your password is your Chromebook password. Go to desktops, PLTW Lab desktop. This folder will appear down here. Show in folder. We wait for the screen to appear. It downloads a file where the first 3 letters are RUN, run. So you will open that up like so. And then it will log you into a school desktop. Once you've made it to this screen, you're good to go. You've made it in. Wait for it to load. All right, so get rid of these things. Click OK. All right, so let's open up Photoshop. The file size for this assignment is 8.5 by 11 inches, 300 resolution. Call it Object Portrait. Create New. Object Portrait. 8.5, 11 height, 300 resolution. Create. I like to get rid of all this stuff over here, just shove it out of the way. So if you press this button here, it gives you more space. Your layers are also over here. Or what I usually do is Window, Layers. Okay, move this over. Okay, so for the assignment, I'm going to take myself to Chrome on the school desktop. See? And on the project page on my website, the link is on the daily slide. Object Portrait. Assignment 1, per usual, is a video and then a Google Doc assignment that is on Google Classroom. You are creating a portrait made out of a collection of objects, just like the artist Arcimboldo did in Paint. We were creating a collage. So a few themes here: fruits and veggies, birds, flowers, books, fish, more fruits and veggies. This is one of my examples. This is all makeup products. So you are choosing a category of items and then finding images that fit within that category to then create a face. Okay, another fruit and vegetable. So on the project page, there is the PDF of everything I'm about to show you in this video. The video will be here. But we open up our tutorial. Always good to have it open while we are working. Okay. And number 1, you are going to find an image of a person. Does not quite matter who the person is. Entirely up to you. We are just finding an image of a person. Not Facebook. Finding an image of a person to kind of base our face on. So it's not, it's not in 10 tended to look like the person in the end. It's just so you know, this is where eyes go. This is where, a nose would go. Just so, this one's kind of blurry, just so you have kind of a basis to start with, not that you have to make it look like them. Okay, so copy your image, paste it in, Control T, scale it up. Okay. And again, this is just a base for you to start building your person. Okay. If you want to lower the opacity on the face so it's not like competing with the images you put in, there's opacity here. You can lower it. Not a requirement, but sometimes it's nice to not be able to see it as clearly while you're working. So for the purpose of the demonstration, I'm going to go with a fruit and vegetable theme, but you can choose a category of items that is entirely up to you. So I'm going to go with, and so for example, I'm not just going to look up fruit if I'm doing a fruit and vegetable theme. I'm going to look, see, because these things are going to pop up. I'm going to look up a particular fruit. Then I get a lot better results. So I'm going to use a papaya for a nose. So we just want to make sure it's crisp and as clear as possible. Okay, I'm going to copy it, edit, paste. Okay, I'm going to zoom in so I can see what I'm doing. And then I use the hand to move this around. Okay, now this is a collage. This is just like all of the other collages we've done. So it's the exact same tools. So click and hold on this object selection tool. For this, I would use the quick selection tool. The little plus icon is right there. And make sure you're on the right layer. And I'm going to select the background. Click and drag. I might be able to do this in one shot. We'll see. Yep, I did. Backspace, Control D. Okay. Now, sometimes I've noticed a lot of you in the past project, you left some lines, some crackly looking lines behind. All you have to do is use the eraser tool to then, you can change the size here, to erase anything that is left behind. This was a clean selection, so I don't have to do it for this. But in the future, please make sure you are erasing those lines. Now, obviously, I need to rotate this if I'm making it a nose. So Control T and rotate it. Okay. A little bit too big, so I'm going to do it like that. Okay. And then press Enter. Remember, you can flip things. If I wanted this papaya facing the other direction, I would do Edit, Transform, Flip Horizontal, right? One extra thing I'm going to show you now. This is different. Edit, Transform, Warp, but be careful with Warp. So Warp, I can pull from any of these little dots. See, and I can kind of slightly adjust. But it can go crazy real quick. See that? Right? So use warp very carefully. Don't warp anything too harshly. Okay, then press Enter. All right. The goal is to have as much detail as possible. So yes, this covered the whole nose, but I am going to go on the internet and find some fruits that could be like nostrils. When you're doing the eye, I want to see an eyebrow. I want to see an eyelid, a top eyelid, a bottom eyelid, an iris, a pupil. Like I want to see detail. Okay. This is now taking the skills you've learned in Photoshop and kind of taking it to the next level. So I'm going to look up some blueberries for some nostrils. And I'll review some of the selection tools. And play around with your keywords. Okay. That's a little bit better. Let's go with this. Remember, you want it to be clear. You don't want watermarks. This one is not loading. Oh, there it goes. Okay. Copy my image back into Photoshop, edit, paste, Control T. Okay. The fourth tool down, 1, 2, 3, 4. Click and hold. Use the magic wand for backgrounds that are like solid like this. Backspace, Control D. And then I can kind of keep using the match, but then you see how that starts happening. So I don't think that's the best tool. So now I'll go back over here. I'll grab the quick selection and I will start using that. Oh, went too fast. Use the minus on the quick selection. Back up your selection. Okay, backspace. Right. Again, if there are any little lines left over in the end, use the eraser to erase them. All right. So right now I just want to use this one blueberry here. So I can use the quick selection tool to select the other blueberries and get rid of them. Like so. I can use the eraser tool to get rid of the blueberries. See, this is what I'm talking about. A lot of you leave these kind of things just attached. You need to use the eraser and erase them. Okay? That's what I mean by craftsmanship. That's what I mean by taking your time. So I have my one blueberry, but I know I'm going to need 2 of these because there's 2 nostrils. So I can click and drag the layer down to the new layer icon and make a copy. And I certainly want to flip one. So I think I'm going to flip this one to face the other direction so it matches. Edit, transform, flip horizontal. And then I'll scale it down, place it where it needs to go, and I do the same here. You're going to repeat this process for an entire face. Don't forget you can relayer things. So I think I want these nostrils maybe in the back. Let's see what that looks like. Click and drag the layer. Yeah, I like the look of that better. Okay. Looking for detail. Variety. I want to see like a collection of objects here. Requirements include an entire face, neck, and then shoulders. So it's a full portrait here in a object category of your choice. So this example, I'm doing fruits. There are so many different categories you can use. I've had students do all different like tools like hammers and things like that. I've had students do makeup. I've had students do candy. There are a lot of different food categories you can do, but that is your choice. All right. When you're done with everything, I'm going to turn him off. I am looking for you to have a background of some kind. So it can be either a gradient, which I'll show you the gradient now. The gradient combines whatever these 2 colors are. So say I change these 2 colors, right? I have it on a layer on the bottom. There's a little preview up here. Click and drag. There's background. You can do a radial background. You click that, and then radial background. So it could be a gradient, or it could be a solid color. Entirely up to you. So that paint bucket is where the gradient is. Do that. Or just like with our personal collage, you can use an image, like a pattern, and put that in as well. Entirely up to you. All right. So this tutorial on the project page takes you through the entire project. the entire process. See? See that? Like so. And then there's the finished work. If you have any questions, please email me, let me know. But please reference the tutorial, either this video or the PDF tutorial. There should be all the information in there for you. All right. When you're done, we go over saving work. File, save on your computer, this PC, call it Object Portrait, leave it as Photoshop until you are done. Put it in your H drive, open, save. Okay. When you are done and you're ready to hand it in, File, Save As on your computer, change it from Photoshop to JPEG, save it in your H drive, open, save, click OK. Then you will take yourself to Google Classroom. From here, you will then hand it in. Any further questions? Let me know.